Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you all for being here, for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I hope that you spread the word and tell anybody who's interested or would be interested in the messages. If you know what their sign is, if you could just forward the messages along, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here. I'm working on the fire signs right now. Sorry if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I haven't actually spoken really to anyone today yet. Just a quick note, please never ever share your personal information with anyone who might come soliciting for a personal reading. I will never solicit for a personal reading through your email or anything like that. I do offer personal readings and paid personal readings, and you can find that information in the links in my About section, but I will never contact you first. Okay, so I just want you to keep yourself safe. I'm doing your reading today with the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and your oracle card will be from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck. So I'm gonna pull 5 cards from the deck, pull 5 clarifiers, and we'll see where we go from there. I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, 5 cards came out already, some upright, some in reverse. Let's see. Just need one more. Yep, that's it. All right, thank you. So, Aries, I hope everybody's well. We are in a fire season right now with Leo. So I have a fire sign rising, so I'm a Sag rising, so I like to kind of ride the wave of the elements in this season. In the past position, you have the Two of Cups, which just like flew out of my hand. It was like it like slipped right out of my hand, almost like it was pulled out of my hand. So there could be a connection here, perhaps with the clarifying card of the 6 of Cups. Something nostalgic, something having to do with the past. This is a card of connection with your higher self, with your counterpart. So it doesn't have to be a romantic counterpart. And oftentimes I actually don't see this card as being that, but I kind of see it now as being a counterpart. Somebody who is like a mirror image to you. Doesn't need to be romantic, but just think of this person who they serve as a mirror. Thank you, Spirit. They serve as a reflection to you, and sometimes that's not in the best, or however, the most ideal sense. It's not in the most ideal sense. Like when people hold up mirrors to us, sometimes we don't like what we see, right? So there's something that you're working on here, though. I mean, this is beautiful energy, and it is in the upright. So whatever or whomever this is, you're working on it. You're working on building that foundation. I'm really drawn to the flowers here, which kind of go towards their heart chakra and their heart center. They start as the same, or they start in unison, they start intertwined, and then they break off. So maybe this is a situation where I wanted to say the word codependency. Maybe you and another person are feeling, or were feeling, codependent on one another, and now you're trying to be completely yourselves and together, which is always the ideal of what they say in relationships, right? Looking back on the past, the 6 of Cups, all cups cards are water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So for a fire sign, we start off with 2 water sign cards. So getting back in touch with the emotions, getting back in touch with the heart space, especially because this beautiful green balloon at the top. I always love this deck because of the scale of things. Like, you just kind of have this, just the scale, this huge lady looking back. I mean, it's almost like she's looking at a, I don't know why, but she's like looking at old film stock in my mind, like 8mm film stock of like a little family picnic or some situation with it's like a Polaroid memory is what I wanted to say. And even in the facial expression here, it's kind of like saying you're feeling nostalgic, but it's not like you want to bring the past back again. So maybe this has to do with somebody from your past, not somebody current, that you have now come to a reconciliation, perhaps, that you come to an understanding that perhaps when you were first together or together before, you weren't operating in the best mindset or in your highest vibration, and you're just in a different place now. And so when you talk to that person, you can say, I have learned a lot since I last met you, last saw you. Maybe it could be a little bit of, can we try again? Or if not, can we try again romantically? It's just, can we rekindle friendship? Can we talk? Can we connect? Because I really valued who you are, who you were and who you are now. So that's really, it might be hard for you to say that out loud, but it's important. Just as a general rule, we should always tell people when we care. Like, don't wait for some tragic event or ending or misunderstanding to express how you feel. That's not from spirit, that's from me. And I hope that you follow that. I follow that. So I put my money where my mouth is on that one. And even if it doesn't work out for you, at least you will know that you told that person, right? It's important. I'm not trying to make it dramatic. I'm just using it as an example. Okay. So for the present energy, we have the Page of Cups. Lots of Cups energy. Page of Cups clarified by the Magician in the reverse. This is your first major arcana of the reading. This is a beautiful card. Pulling the swan out of the hat, I guess. I don't know. Is it a swan? I think it's a swan. This reminds me of birthday energy with her little sparkler and her hat here. Could have been something around your birthday that you couldn't make happen for some reason. Somebody couldn't make something happen. Page of Cups energy. All the pages in the tarot bring new vitality. It's student energy. It's like beginner's mind energy and curiosity of their suit. So this person is trying to make a gesture of love. When I talk about this card, I sometimes refer to it being in the form of a text message or a, will you join me for coffee, or can we take a walk? It's not, there's no serious commitment or anything like that. It's just a little peace offering. So this is your present energy. Maybe you are offering a gesture of peace, or maybe you're waiting for someone to reach out to you. It's always so interesting. The little cup has a little goldfish inside. So she's looking down at it in this particular card with a sense of curiosity, wonderment. It's how strange that this goldfish would be in this cup. A lot of times the fish represents something slippery, right? Something that can't be pinned down. Perhaps something that feels awkward and out of place. So there might be a slight awkwardness to it, and you're not really sure with the Magician card in reverse if it's going to be fruitful, if it's going to pan out for you. The Magician card in the upright is the card of the Master Manifester. So this individual, if it's you or someone else in the upright, someone in their magician energy can make things happen. They conceive of an idea, they have the passion to fuel it, they act on their inklings, and they put their energy behind it. So with this card clarifying it in the reverse, it's almost like you want to do it, or someone wants to do it, but they're not really sure how it's going to pan out. And again, you can't really know until you try. So Spirit really wants you to try. These three cards are quite beautiful. The Cups cards that you received so far, so you're very much in a heart space. Perhaps you're like newly opening your heart in a way that makes you feel vulnerable. Nobody necessarily likes to feel vulnerable, but this is just a general reading and you can take it as it resonates. I don't know. Chariot in reverse in your future position. This is the card of Cancer. One of my favorite readers, San Tarot, she always calls this the Snailian card, and I just think that's so funny. Because usually the Chariot card is a major arcana representing a mastery over the light and the dark, moving forward towards victory, and a fast movement, and a sense of control. And in the future position, it doesn't feel like, it feels like you're stalling, to be honest with you. Here you are clarified with the Nine of Pentacles, so this feels very singular. Sometimes they call this the single lady card, but it doesn't have to apply to women. It's just a divine feminine energy. Remember, we always have divine feminine aspects and divine masculine aspects within all of us. And people are careful to say it's not about gender. It's not about that. It's just about energy of receiving and going after, right? Moving towards. So in your future energy, it's almost like you want to move towards something, but you're just, well, I'm okay back here. I'm just like, I'm doing really well for myself. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card of self-sufficiency and pre-Empress energy. So there's like a lot of abundance and, you know, not to make a play on imagery, but there's fruitfulness, right? And lots of strong solar plexus energy. So confidence center, and yet not confident enough to move towards something. Remember, this is just me taking a temperature on the message that Spirit has for you today. What's great about it is nothing is set in stone. You can decide to move tonight towards that friend, that parent, that lover, whomever. You can move towards that as soon as you want. But will you? Will you It's almost like when you put too much expectation into something and then you don't get it, you get disappointed, right? So how about practice the art of just putting your best foot forward, doing your best, and then letting go of the expectation. That's very hard to do. But it's almost like when people say, just give it up to God, right? Give it up to Spirit and the universe. At least you're meeting yourself halfway. So if I look at this card, as I often do, as you and your higher self, you know, you as the avatar on Earth in the Earth School, and the soul you up in the 5D or whatever. I have a higher self, and her name is Lavender. I saw that in a meditation once. She introduced herself to me, and she said her name was Lavender, and she was just like a ball of light. And she gave me a gift, and it was a skeleton key. And like, what's so insane about that is the fact that I recently found a skeleton key on the sidewalk, like near my building, and it looks like this. It's probably part of like a necklace. It's some beautiful goth kid lost, unfortunately, but it was on the ground. It was just on the ground like this as I was crossing the street, and I crouched down to pick it up, and I just couldn't believe it. It's this idea that there's just, what's the line from Hamlet? It's like there's so much more Horatio in the heavens than is dreamt of in our philosophy. Okay, I totally butchered that line. But basically Hamlet's talking about the fact that there's so much that we can't even comprehend. So somewhere up there is the soulful you cheering you on and saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Go after that thing you want. Go after that thing that your heart wants, that your heart has always wanted. I mean, you already got a lot. You're already looking pretty. You look good. But at the same time, you don't really believe in yourself as much as you should. Which is not to, I mean, Aries are very capable people, that's for sure. Right? You're never going to let anyone tell you you're not capable. You're never going to let anyone tell you, you know, and maybe you won't listen to this, but something in this energy is telling me that you feel timid. That's a harsh one for an Aries to hear. But it's what Spirit wanted me to say. Anyway, the Three of Pentacles is the energy of advice from Spirit. You can see here, brick by brick by brick by brick, one brick at a time. She's got her little bird friends here to help her, and everything is so red and green, right? Red and green, like root and sacral chakra and heart space all over the place. Three of Pentacles is a card of co-creation and building and collaboration, working together as a team. So Spirit is almost telling me, why don't you ask them for help more often? Clarified by the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So now we have two Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles in the upright is planting a seed and watching it grow, and waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, when the harvest is here, you're kind of like lackluster about it. You might be a little disappointed, a little, gosh, you know, I spent all that time and all that investment in this, and this is what I got? This is what I have to show for it? Is this all I have to show for it? I don't know where those words are coming from. Maybe your head. I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. Is this all I have to show for it? Well, who are you trying to impress? Spirit wants you to, number one, ask for the help that you need, because she could have built this on her own, but it definitely was better when she had help. And oftentimes birds represent spirit, right? Spirit energy. I think you have a lot in place already, like a lot of plans. I see a lot of plans. But the execution of those plans maybe requires a little finagling and partnership. Thank you, Spirit. We're ending your reading with how you see yourself. The Eight of Swords. This is a very interesting card because this angel is, I'm going to try and cover it up a little bit just in case. The angel here is in a cage of their own creation. In a sense, that door is open and they can leave at any time. Swords energy is all about the thinking mind, the cerebral space, the analytical space. It's a card that represents analysis paralysis, overthinking, anxiety. And it's clarified here by the Ace of Wands. First Wands card of your reading and the last card in the reading. We're finally coming to a little bit of that fire energy, but it's fraught, right? Like aces bring new beginnings from spirit. And this is telling me that spirit has brought you your new beginning. It's here, you have it, it's here, but you're feeling anxious about it right now. Did I make the right decision? Spirit showed me the way, but now I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it. I feel really stressed out. I feel really unsure. Just remember, I think of all the things that we've talked about today, this is the card I want you to turn upside down. And it's only one of two major arcana in your reading. When you are in the position of just using all the tools at your disposal, because you have so many, first and foremost being your intellect and your sense of pioneering, right? Aries are they call Aries the babies of the zodiac, right? They're the young ones of the zodiac, but they're also fearless. So it's time to recapture a little bit of that fearlessness, but also have the belief that you already have what you need. And hey, if you really don't believe that, then you got to start asking for help. And how help comes might be in the form of a book that you get at the library, or a conversation with a stranger, or a video you watch on YouTube. Who knows? So that's your reading, Aries. I hope that something resonated for you. I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle deck and read from the book. The card is called Aletheia. Not really sure how to orient it, but I kind of want to do this. It's very striking. The first thing that I thought of was a kite. And then I see a pyramid from the top. So let's read from the book. It's very stark, right? There's only two bits of color, but it's maybe you're feeling in the mood to be very black and white about an issue. Let's see. It's the very last card in the book. And it simply says, truth. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of aletheia. Aletheia. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize aletheia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The aletheia card requires us to step towards an act of truth. Step towards an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed. Reclaiming your truth is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. That's pretty powerful, actually. It kind of gave me a little goosebumps. So that's your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it very much. Bye, Aries.